Hey guys, so I'm back. I know it's been a while, and yeah, a lot has happened in between the time I've been gone. It's been like over a year. But I wanted to do a video on my pregnancy, or basically a pregnancy, I guess a pregnancy and delivery story. Yeah, I know what I mean. Lord, my delivery story of having my son. Yes, that's what I want to do. And then I'll probably do another video on my pregnancy and how it went later. But yeah, and this won't be a long story. I'll probably do details later or something. But I had my son 5/29/15, and sorry guys. But yeah, I had my son 5/29/15, and my actual due date was 5/27. And yeah, so prior to 5/27, prior to my due date, I by that time we have weekly visits at the hospital or at your doctor's office, your OBGYN or whatever. And I've been going every week. And 2 weeks before, or a few weeks before, my OBGYN was telling me that if I wanted to have my baby early, that I could try to start doing certain things to, get my cervix to ripen and to get my baby to drop so that I can have him at least about 2 weeks early or even on time. But hopefully earlier than 5/27, than my due date. And so, and of course I wanted him 5/10/15 because I have a number problem, but whatever. So, prior to me having him, I had this type of oil, which I'll probably do a video on that later on, to use that and to take that and use that. And there was something else I was supposed to do as well, but I gotta think of it. I can't think of it right now. And outside of taking my prenatal pills and stuff like that, also I had to walk a lot. And I also, on my end, I did jump rope. I played soccer. I just tried to do whatever I could, to get him to drop and all of that. So counting down the weeks, to my 40 weeks, every week, of course, you get checked. And during my checking and stuff, nothing has happened. He hasn't dropped. My cervix didn't ripen. It didn't do anything. So she let me know if he doesn't come on time, or, if I'm having any issues, that I will probably have to, get a C-section. So I asked her, why would I have to get a C-section? Why would you go straight to C-section and not me being induced? And she informed me that being induced, they usually induce women if your cervix is ripened or your baby drops, stuff like that. So I would probably have a C-section. So I said, okay. I didn't argue, I didn't do any of that. So the due date came and nothing happened. So I had an appointment with her to see her again the next day. So went to see her the next day, and she checked me and everything. And I think prior to that, my 35th week, I had an ultrasound. I think it was my 35th week. Yeah, my 35th week, I think it was. I had an ultrasound because I didn't see her the week before. I think it's my 35th week, whatever. I had an ultrasound earlier. Everything was fine. But I would let them know that he wasn't moving as much as he was before. But they were like, with him growing and stuff, the space is getting smaller, so he's not going to move as much as he used to. So I said, okay, makes sense to me. Anyways, went to my appointment the day after my due date, and They did the checking, everything. Cervix isn't ripened. Your cervix hasn't ripened. It hasn't dropped. The baby hasn't dropped. Your cervix hasn't opened. Your baby hasn't dropped. None of that. So I'm like, okay, I'm like, I guess he'll come when he's ready. So then they decide during that appointment to do an ultrasound on my stomach. No, hear my baby's heartbeat on my stomach, and they're trying to count the movements to make sure he's moving on a regular basis or whatever. Which I already told him he wasn't, but I guess no one listens to Reva, so whatever. They did that, and then decided, I guess because of the results of that, they decided to do a quick ultrasound to make sure everything was okay. So they did an ultrasound for me, and let me stop. This might be done in sections. This video might be broken up a couple of times because with my phone being so full, I don't have a lot of recording, and my computer is down. So yes. Anyways, so they did the ultrasound. With the ultrasound, they found out that I basically had no fluid. I had, they say fluid is usually like 5 to 8 or whatever. I had 0.83 or 0.85 or something like that. Basically, he had no fluid in there to survive in. And if I would have kept him longer, I probably would have had a stillbirth or something would have been wrong with him. So with that being said, she let me know, go get you something to eat, something to drink, and then you need to go straight to the hospital, which was next door, because I wanted to go to another hospital, but because I was being induced or C-section or whatever, I needed to go next door. So she said that what we're going to do is try to induce you later on tonight, and then we'll give you some medicine later on tonight to ripen your cervix, and we're going to induce you tomorrow, which would have been the 29th, and then you'll have him between 29th and then the 30th, because it takes time, especially with being induced. They say it takes longer. It's a longer process. I guess it depends on the person, and that it's a longer process, then it'd be more painful. So I went, got me something to eat, drink, and me and my mother went to the hospital. Started the medication, got all hooked up and everything, registered and all of that. Started the medication, and that was a process. That medication was done for a couple of hours. Now all this time I already ate, stuff like that, Then they did try to, they let me know after a while we had to stop eating at a certain point in time, and then they told me to stop eating, which I finished my food anyway, because I wasn't going to go 50 hours without eating anything. That just wasn't going to happen at all. So it was a process just to get to that point, and I was scared and terrified, and I cried, and it was just torturous mentally to even go through that process.